Hello, this is Sakchun Bernard. I want to share with you my personal story from a near drowning tragedy when I was a child. I believe that my guardian angel was there to protect me from a tragedy. This past Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024, the Catholic Church celebrated the feast day of the Holy Guardian Angels. This prompts me to come up with my guardian angel story. I briefly researched to see if everyone has a guardian angel and specifically looked at Gospel of Matthew chapter 18 verse 10. Jesus asked us not to despise the little children, for the angels in heaven always look upon the face of God. This means that the angels who are connected to God are always watching and giving their protection for the little ones at all times. Well, when I was about 5 years old, I was with my mother's stepbrother, who was 1 year younger than me. We were playing on a fallen coconut tree which was leaning over a pond at the back of my house. We were bouncing up and down on the long, springy tree trunk. It was perhaps a foot wide to step on with our little feet. Below the tree there were little fishes swimming in the pond, and we were looking at them, fascinated. The dragonflies were flying around and above us, and we were trying to catch them. As little children, we were happily playing and enjoying the warm, sunny, equatorial weather. We were without a care in the world, just happily talking and laughing away. Then I tried to reach out with a swing of my arm at the dragonfly, and the momentum caught me off balance, and I slipped off the tree trunk and fell into the pond. I was not taught to swim yet and had no clue how to get from the deep water to the side of the pond. Somehow I bobbed up and down, and whenever I had my head above the water, I was screaming for my mother, at the same time sucking in some air to stay alive. By this time, my younger relative had taken off in fear. He never returned. I continued to bob up and down and screamed to my mother for help. I saw her coming out to the back of the house, but she did not see me, as the pond was partially surrounded by shrubs, and she immediately went back into the house. It may have been only a few minutes where I was caught in that fearful situation. Catching mouthfuls of air as I bobbed upwards above the water, I inadvertently swallowed some of the pond water in the process. On thinking back, some 6 decades later, I must have been frightened. I did not understand death at that age, and it never crossed my mind. I knew I was in danger and needed to get myself out of the situation. I do remember that I was angry at my mother for not coming to help me when I was helpless. Even now, I do wonder how, by the grace of God, I found my way out of the water back onto dry land. If we consider faith and God's designation of a guardian angel for little children, I can see myself qualifying to have one of these guardian angels, which scriptures talk about. Facing the pond from the back of my house, I was at the right 1/3 of the pond, while on the coconut tree trunk. I fell toward the deeper middle portion of the pond. I was tiny and was not able to feel the bottom of the pond with my feet. Strangely, I do not recall reaching the sides of the pond and clambering up and out of the water, although human logic tells me I must have done so. Otherwise, I would not be talking about this tragedy or near tragedy with you? Did my guardian angel brought me to the side of the pond instead of leaving me in the deep water? All I can remember was walking from the back of my house toward my mother, who was in the living room, half crying, half talking. I told her of my mishap and demanded for an answer as to why she did not come to help me. She calmly explained that she did not see me. How could I be angry, but be grateful that God was merciful and sent his angel to rescue me? Most certainly, it was not my time to live this earthly life. God still has work for me to accomplish for him on this mystical journey here on earth. On examining closer, the accident could have resulted in a tragic outcome, but the hand of God intervened. I did not see or feel an angel. I believe this is when sight gives way to faith. We need to trust what scriptures say, that each of these little ones has a guardian angel. We often take for granted when an event steers the right way. But how often do we get frustrated when things do not go our way? We need to stop and reflect on the things that could have gone wrong, but turned out right. Certainly, we need to appreciate God more for his kind interventions. In this instance, I clearly need to thank him for sending his guardian angel my way when I needed help. We ought to remember that part of our lives is spiritual, and the spirits and angels are working with us unseen. I hope you discover your guardian angel working with you on your life journey, and thank him for the time he was kind to you. God bless.